All right, welcome, ladies. This is Friendship Mixers, living your best life, hashtag business goals. But actually, it could be hashtag life goals because we're gonna talk about more than just business goals. I am so excited to have guest speakers, and I'm so excited because even as I was preparing for this, I came up with what I really want my life to look like. And I have decided because of all this crazy stuff happening at work, my boss resigned Monday, and now they're trying to restructure us. And, things can change at any moment, especially when you're working for somebody else. So, and that's why we're also going to talk about our 9 to 5 jobs, what's going on there, how long we've been there, because being an entrepreneur and working for yourself and being able to set your own schedule and not answer to anybody else is totally different from working in the corporate world or working for someone else. I work at a university in the Baltimore area, and I was loving it. Everything was going great, even though sometimes I looked for another job. And then now everything is just blown up because my boss is leaving and she did all this stuff that she didn't teach us how to do. So, so yeah, there's a shakeup going on, and I'm gonna see what happens. But it made me really have to reevaluate what I really want. And I don't like even having to drive 40 miles to work. But even though I only do it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and that's a blessing, but I really want to only live in the DMV part-time. I want to live in the Caribbean in the winter months, and I can't do that with a 9 to 5 job. I can't just pick up and go down there for 3 months when I have a boss and I have to get vacation time approved, and so we'll talk about all of that. But the very first thing I want to do is show you a little bit about Friendship Mixers. It's a little video that I recorded so that I don't have to keep saying this over and over again. So let's look at that. And then when we come back, we will talk about living our best life. Hello, ladies. I'm Kiki Strickland, the founder of Friendship Mixers. Thank you so much for attending this event. I wanted to just share a few quick things with you while you're here. We are a women's organization that promotes healthy female friendships, and we are very multicultural. We're in several cities, including these: New York City, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Northern Virginia, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Boston, soon to be in the following cities: Miami and Fort Lauderdale, Raleigh, Durham, Houston and Dallas, Chicago. We will eventually be on the West Coast, and also London and South Africa. We have several tribes, including these here that you can see. We're looking for leaders of some of these tribes. Please check out our website at friendshipmixers.com to get more involved with us. We would like for you to become a member if you like our group, if you feel comfortable here, and if you feel like we're a fit for you, then please consider becoming an official member and joining us on our private members only platform. So looking forward to having you join us, and enjoy the rest of the event. Okay, so that's just a little bit about us. This is a part of our entrepreneurs tribe. We have a coaching corner for life coaches or different coaches, health coaches. I'm a dating coach, but we also have an entrepreneurs tribe, and that is what this is tonight, a part of the entrepreneurs club in Friendship Mixers. All right, so I was telling you a little bit about my job and the situation with me. And I work 9 to 5. I have a full-time job with benefits, which I had to get when I was going through my divorce, because I realized things were changing. I was going to have to sell my house. I had been a full-time entrepreneur at that point, and so had my ex-husband, my husband at the time. And so we both ended up getting full-time jobs. And it was a blessing to get this job where I am now. I did not plan to stay there as long as I've been. I thought it would just be temporary, just to get on my feet, and set up somewhere. And it's been 3 years. So I'm still there. And now that this has happened with my boss leaving, and it was a 5-person team with her as the lead, now they've decided to split up the rest of us, the 4 of us, and they put 2 of us under someone else and the other 2 under a different person. So, things are just really changing, and I'm reevaluating. But what I just decided today is that I think I'll just stay till the end of the year. There's only a few months left in this year. And then I'm going to look for a fully remote job doing what I do so that I can live in the DC area 2/3 of the time. And then that 1/3, which would be January, February, March, when it's cold here, I want to be in the Caribbean. And I'll probably start out in the US Caribbean. So maybe Puerto Rico or St. Thomas. I already love St. Thomas. And then I want to try some other Caribbean countries that are not a part of the US, like maybe Grenada. I hear a lot about Grenada, the Spice Island, and maybe Barbados or St. Lucia. I want to explore them all and see where I fit. Do I fit in one of those islands? And I really want it to be an island that is sovereign. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but what I mean by that is I don't want it to be under British rule or under Dutch rule or even under the United States. I want it to be its own country where the people that live there actually run things and are the government there. So that is my goal. And then I'll talk a little bit about my side businesses because I have a few after my guest speakers go. So I really wanted to start with Yolanda, if Yolanda is okay with being first. Yolanda Bailey, please tell us a little bit about yourself, just the general stuff at first, and then we'll get into your businesses.
Okay. My name is Yolanda Bailey. I live in Aldie, Virginia. And please excuse me because I got braces. So I sound kind of funny. So just be patient with me and let me get through this presentation. But anyway, I'm Yolanda Bailey. I live in Aldie, Virginia. That's in Loudoun County. So I'm like 20 minutes from Dulles Airport and next door to Chantilly. My 9 to 5, I used to work for the federal government for 24 years. August, I decided that I was going to go to school full time. So now I'm pursuing my master's. So you can see I'm in a classroom now doing this presentation. Do you want me to continue going on about my businesses and everything?
Let's stop there and just hear the brief introductions from the other 2 ladies, and then we'll come back to you.
Oh, cool.
Makeena Stephens, hello, and how are you?
Hello, ladies, my sisters. I'm doing really good. Again, my name is Makeena, and I am actually from the Hampton Roads area in Portsmouth, Virginia, down near Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Virginia. I always have to preface with that because people used to say, where's Portsmouth? But yes, I am here full time, but I also live in the Northern Virginia area with my aunt because my 9 to 5 job is there in the Northern Virginia area. I work for the federal government, DLA, at Fort Belvoir headquarters. I'm a chemist there. And I just transitioned there 3 years ago, right before the pandemic. I originally was a supervisor for laboratories down in the Hampton Roads area for the Navy. And so I transitioned up north, and that's what I do for my 9 to 5. I think that's
Great.
all.
Thank you. And Sarah.
Sorry, I have to move my screen over, trying to read your questions and everything, make sure I have everything that you're asking for. So good evening, ladies. My name is Sarah Gautier, pronounced just like a cheer, Gautier. It is French. About myself, I am living right now in no, I'm not in Loudoun County. I used to be in Loudoun County in Ashburn. I don't know where I'm at. I'm actually in Clinton, Maryland now. My 9-to-5 job. I'm a senior manager of proposals. I go get the money from the government. That's what I do from 9 to 5. That's it.
Okay, that is it. Thank you so much just for that general introduction about you guys. So we know what your 9-to-5 is. Now we want to hear about your side hustles and how you got into your side businesses, why you're doing it, how long you've been doing it, and what your goals are for it, if you have any. And we'll go in that same order. Yolanda, then Makeena, and then Sarah.
My side hustle, I don't really know you call it a hustle, but I have an investment group. It's not actually an investment club. It's a group of 10 individuals. We pull our money together and we each month decide which stocks we're gonna pick, which other investment opportunities we're going to venture into. The reason why we started this group because it was mostly what they call generational wealth, as teaching each and everyone how to acquire stocks, learn about stocks, picking different stocks, and it was a it was like something that we wanted to do for we can teach other people on how to pursue wealth and hold on to it and stuff like that. So that's how the group got together. This is the second time I have created this group. The first time I did it with ladies, our church members. We did it maybe like 20 years ago. And I was doing it while I was going to Howard University. And we expand our money so much that we actually kind of double our money with the stock splittings and stuff like that. So we took a break from it because all of us started having children and getting busy with our life. So we dispersed the club. And then after when COVID came, we decided we started back up again. Instead of being all just women, we decided to bring the men in, which we now thinking about we shouldn't, because now since it's football season, it's not about investments, it's about which team is going to win and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's small, it's a good group. But one thing about an investment club, you also have to treat it as a business. So you have to make sure that the partners have their K1s, their wherever money that we profit at the end of the year, we just disperse it out to the partners. So.
Aha, great. So, Yolanda, I know you also had done a few other things. So did you just try those things and decide that they weren't for you? I know you had done real estate.
I still have my real estate license. I'm still holding on to my real estate because my thing was like after I left the federal government, I wanted to pursue the real estate side, the business side. But the only thing I really want to do is just acquire rental properties and rent them out, because I want to do the same thing you are trying to do. I want to spend maybe 6 months in the Washington, D.C. area, and I want to be somewhere else in a warmer climate on the rest.
Yes.
So that's what I'm looking at doing. I'm trying to figure out if I want to buy properties there, and the days when I'm not there, I just rent them out, and then I stay how many months I want to stay there. So that's what I'm trying to look, to do. So my master's is in finance. So now I'm just trying to put everything together and figure out how I can expand like the investment club and reaching out, doing partners and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at.
Great. Got it. Thank you. All right, Makeena.
There we go. So my side passion and have is cosmetic fragrance developer. I actually want to expand it, of course, in the across the entire cosmetic brand as far as facial cosmetics, in addition to skincare. And the vision has been expanded since I have been going to different meetings with the government. I went to a National Contract Association conference, and it really empowered me to realize that I don't have to put a limit on my business structure. So I have been noticing there are a lot of gaps in the government as far as analytical support. So I am looking to add that to like my future business goals. And my goal is to actually retire within the next 5 to 10 years. It was 5 years, but I want to be realistic because I want to continue to network and build just a networking system for the different streams of businesses that I feel like God has placed in me. So definitely want to have a brick and mortar within the next 10 years, but I want to make sure I'm fully launched into like my cosmetics line within the next 5 years. So the goal right now is getting business funding. That has been definitely a challenge for like, at least for the minority community. So I've been really blessed to know a friend who's actually into business funding. So right now I'm working with him and doing some preliminaries, and he has a system that allows you to bypass the long system that the banks have. So I was able to get one of my friends who is a boarder for my puppy. I was able to get him funded, so or connect him. So that's the next step is to work on like the funding piece so that I can start expanding with my passion. So that's kind of where I am. I'm excited. It all started with Mary Kay, believe it or not, and that was over 20 years ago. But I've been doing research and development with product lines with my career, and that kind of gave me the foundation and my passion and love for fragrances. When I started working in the department store at the fragrance counter, I was initially intending to work at the cosmetics counter, but I believe God had another plan to sow a seed and really just to encourage me, inspire me, to let me know that I could do the same thing, you know. So Mary Kay was my inspiration. Working at the cosmetics counter or fragrance counter was the seed that I needed to see sort of a lot of I guess the marketing and the branding and just being able to connect with people and just see the impact that fragrance has on our society. And that really stirred the vision, honestly. And I actually developed my first fragrance line about 10 years ago. So I have a few formulations already pretty much stabilized. And so now I have a mentor that I could work with that has helped launch other cosmetic lines for like a lot of different professionals. So everything is kind of in place. And now I just got to complete my preliminaries and then connect up with the gentleman that's going to help me with the funding. And I look forward to, you know, expanding. So that's where I am.
That is awesome. And so they might not have caught that you're actually a chemist by trade. And that's your background, even in the government work that you do. And you have used that knowledge to create fragrances. And you want to have an international perfume. So we're talking about perfumes, but you also said skincare and cosmetic, like makeup, lipsticks, and blush and mascara, all of that.
Yes. Oh, yes. It started as a fragrance line, and then definitely expanding it to a full cosmetic line. And then also want to add a laboratory where I do analytical testing for just industry and the government. And then from there do, expand to inventions, because there are a lot of invention ideas that I have. And the one thing that they all need is funding. So, that piece has kind of come together, or is coming together. And so, yeah. Yep.
Awesome, awesome. And there are funding opportunities. I see and I get emails all the time about pitch competitions for minority small business owners. So there is money out there. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Great, awesome. Okay, thank you for sharing. Sarah, you are up.
I think you saved me for last because I have so many, right? So, well, the first business that I started with was my travel business. I've been doing travel since 2009. I only do referrals only because I try to do referrals only, and I do groups. So when I'm working with my different groups or my referrals, I give them top client privileges. So I only do referrals for that reason. So I started with the travel business, loved it. In 2014, when after working for this company and getting them all these contracts, they decided that they no longer wanted me and wanted to downsize. I went out and established my consulting business, Writer for You. So I also have a consulting business. I don't use it all the time. I do, again, I'm very picky about who and because I can do that, I'm very picky about who I work with. I tend not to work with small businesses for the fact that they don't really want to pay. So I tend to work with larger companies. I do everything from resumes to developing business models for them, to developing their business plans for them. I do the whole rigmarole, as well as doing proposals for them when I'm not working my 9 to 5. As long as it's not a conflict with my 9 to 5, I do those as well. I did do grants. However, grants take so much time and people don't want to pay for grants, the grant research and stuff. So I don't do grants anymore. During the pandemic, I started another business, which is basically something that I learned from my grandmother, and that's a jams and jellies business. So I make jams, jellies, and preserves. I not only do the regular apple, strawberry, grape, I also do stuff like mango, pineapple, peach pineapple. All you think of it, I make it. So I have like pineapple coconut. Also within the last year, I decided to go a little bit further with my jams and jellies and came up with some alcohol infused jams and jellies. So I not only have the regular jams and jellies, but I have alcohol infused jams and jellies where I carry peach whiskey, apple whiskey. I'm working on a bourbon concoction right now. I also have pina colada. I have appletini. I have all different, I have a couple of different cocktail flavors, which seems to be some of my greatest things. It's doing very well, so well that I haven't really done a market in a while. And I get invited to different places. For example, I'll be at a golf club out in Aldi in October. I was invited out there. And Loudoun was my home base at one time. So Loudoun has been very good to me, and they always invite me out to their different places. Plus they like to play. Also, within that jams and jellies, I also have a wine collection in that jams and jellies. So I do wine jellies as well. So that's my businesses. My hopes for the future is to maybe expand on it. I've had a couple of people be very interested in me, going multi-wine. By the way, I do ship cross country. I have shipped as far as London, to California, all across the states, as far as California, down to Florida, up to Canada. So I ship everywhere as well. And my jams and jellies are basically word of mouth. So it's been very profitable for me. How did I get started? Well, my mom called me down for that one. Well, travel, I love to travel. So I like to take people's travel and make it their memories. That's my thing. When I do your travel, that's why I only do referrals, because I want to make the money that you spend, I want that to be your memory. So that's why I started to travel. The consulting business, I didn't have a choice at the time. I needed some money. I like to eat. Big girl like to eat, so I need to make sure I had some money coming in. So I did what I could do, which was, consulting work. So that's how I got that started. And the jams and jellies, my mom called me down during the pandemic. I snuck down to Georgia. We pulled the pears off her tree. It started with the pear jam, and it exploded from there. There you go. That's it.
That is awesome. I didn't even know you did all of that. I've been seeing your jams and jellies on Facebook with you at different places selling them, or I guess you're testing them and you'll show a picture of a new one. I love that. So I didn't even know about the consulting. And then I didn't even know fully about the travel. So thank you. We're all doing things that we don't even know what each other's doing. And that's why we're here tonight talking about it. We could do another one on marketing and social media and how you, and there's so much to talk about with business. And then the financial side is a whole nother beast in itself, and the legal aspects of things. We don't even want to get into any of that. But before I get into any tips or advice that you all have for women who might want to get a side hustle or start a small business or start something on the side to make extra cash, but they don't know what to do or how to start. Let me tell you a little bit about my businesses. This is actually a business, Friendship Mixers. It's a women's organization, but it is membership based. So we do charge a fee for membership, and that is to help me pay for all of the, it offsets what I have to put into this women's organization. We have a private platform. That's not free. I have to pay for that. I'm on Meetup. I'm on 6 meetups. I have 6 meetups, and Meetup is not free. So the ladies do pour into Friendship Mixers, and I have a big vision for Friendship Mixers, especially the Overcoming Health Challenges tribe. There's so many ladies that I come across lately as I get older who have a medical challenge or something, physical going on. And I feel like to have a place where you can come monthly to vent or just talk about it or just hear from other people would be a great resource to those ladies who may be feeling alone and may be going through their struggles without the support that they need. I was going through my fibroid issue, and that's when I started it, the Overcoming Health Challenges tribe of Friendship Mixers, because I wanted to talk about that, and I was going to have surgery. And I started finding the more you talk about what's going on with you, then the more other ladies start opening up about what they have going on with them. So I do feel like the Lord has given me Friendship Mixers as a way to bring ladies together for friendship. A lot of ladies also tell me that they don't have a best friend right now, or they find it challenging to make friends. So that's my Friendship Mixer business. And then I also have a travel business. And like Sarah, it's not a general business where, people can just call you up and say, hey, I want to go to Paris. Can you book my Paris trip? No, I only do my own group trips. So I have a trip to South Africa next year, and anybody can join us for that. But that's all I'm doing. I only do my own trips. I schedule it. I come up with it. I craft the trip, and then I invite others to come. And I'm able to make a commission when people actually book our trips. with us and go with us. So that's an extra stream of income for me. I tried the whole being a regular travel agent thing where people, can just book any trip through you. And that was too much work and I didn't like it. So, you try different things and you see what works for you. And if you don't like it, cut it. You can craft your business to be exactly what you want. You can take out the pieces that you don't like, or you can hire someone else to do those pieces and just keep doing the things that you do like. That's the best thing about being an entrepreneur. And then my last business, and most of you know, but some of you may not, a dating coach. I was a dating coach and matchmaker for many years. I started in 2006 as a matchmaker and got into coaching when I found out about coaching in 2009. So I went on hiatus for a little while. I'm kind of back at it. I really haven't taken on clients yet, although I'm getting ready to, and I have started doing videos again. So I have set up a new Kiki Strickland matchmaker and dating coach YouTube page, and I do videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. So 2 videos a week for the public to see on a dating topic. So I only have 3 subscribers, but it will grow. And my goal is once I retire from my 9-to-5 job, because I do still plan to have a regular job, even though I want it to be fully remote starting next year, like I said. I want to do that long enough to get a pension. And if I stay in the University of Maryland system for 7 more years, I will have a pension. And then I would like to retire. So like you, Makeena, I don't want to work past 60. I'm 50 now. I just turned 50 this summer. So I'm not going to work more than 10 more years for somebody else. And I'll still be doing my businesses on the side. But once I retire, then I will do them full time. But I'll also have that extra stream of income from my pension coming in and my 401k. So that is my goal. All right. Before we get into any advice for ladies, let me ask the others that are here on this. Do either of you own your own business or have a side hustle? Are you doing anything as an extra stream of income?
I'm actually starting a few businesses. I just am getting my real estate license, just became a notary, and about to become a consultant in the medical field. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Anyone else? All right. Oh,
Hey.
hey.
Yes, I do have a side hustle. I do sell life insurance. I do have a license to sell it here in DC.
Awesome. I did not know that. Okay, great. And Andrea, don't you work for the government as well?
I'm a contractor.
Yes.
Contractor with the government.
Got it. So you're a contractor with the government and you sell insurance on the side.
Yes.
Love it. Great. Okay. All right. So one of the things before we wrap up, I wanted the ladies to just give any advice that they have to the rest of us, or to ladies who might want to start a side hustle, a side business, or women who are not happy with their lives the way that it is right now. Maybe they're in a dead-end job. Maybe they're in a job that they hate. And when Sunday comes, Sunday night, they start getting depressed because they have to go to work on Monday morning. What would you guys say to those women? And again, we'll start with Yolanda.
Well, I can actually say that I went through that last month with my job. People started acting crazy. Managers was leaving out with the knowledge, and then senior management expecting you to know everything when you actually have not been trained. So it was crazy. So I was like, you know what, it's time for me to get off this ship. So, so when I got my acceptance letter to go to school, I was just called the dean and said, I want to go full time. And I gave him my 2 weeks and I'm gone. So my goal is to go back into the federal government to finish up and to retire, because I have 24 years with the government. So I want to finish that up and retire. So that is the plan. But my advice is it's usually hard to leave a position when you really don't have financially, you're not able to do. So you sit in that job being unhappy. But on that, I can say, if you can find something that you are passionate about and pursue that, it probably can balance things out, or start figuring out how you can do that hustle as a business and just start growing your clientele and putting that money away that you make it from there on the side, so you actually can step out on faith and do it full time or do something that you really love. Because I kind of realized that it's best to go somewhere that you love every day than being somewhere that you're miserable.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness. We spend more time at work than anywhere else. Even if you're fully remote, you're still working several hours a day at that job. So you're spending the majority of your time doing that thing. And if you don't like that thing, it feels like you're like wasting your life. But you're getting the paycheck. So you're doing it for the paycheck. So the money counts. But all those hours that you spent doing something you didn't even like. Okay, so I'm glad you said you can go back. So you're able to stop working, go back to school, and then you'll be able to go back to the government. That's awesome.
Only thing I have to do is just apply for the position that I'm looking for. So I can go back to any agency that I want to go to and just apply for that position. And you still have to do the same thing, the interview and stuff like that, and get accepted. But usually it looks favorable when you already been cleared with the government, you already been invested, for them to pull you back in.
And you don't lose
you don't lose your pension, you don't lose the years that you put in, you invested. No.
I wish I had gotten into the government. When I was married, my mother-in-law had worked for the government and retired from the government and had a great pension from the government. And she kept trying to tell her son, my husband at the time, get a good government job. And he refused to do it. And now he probably wishes he had. And I actually wish that I had gotten into the government way back. But now I'm in the University of Maryland system, and that's good too. I'm happy that I'll get a pension there if I stay another 7 years. All right, Makeena, any words of advice?
Yes. Oh my gosh. We always hear ministers and pastors say, write the vision, make it plain. This is so true. So my encouragement and word to my sisters is create a biopic of you and your vision. Put it in front of you, look at it every day, because that's literally how my life has unfolded based on what I spoke and what I wrote down. I literally have a journal. I'm not a big journaler. I don't journal every day, but I'm a moment journaler. So for moments and pockets of my life, I can pick up journals and see where I've written my vision of what I desire to do. And I will always see the end state, right? Like at the final finish line. And that's what I would write from that place. And it says, speak those things that be not as though they were, not as though they are going to be, but as though they were, as if it had already happened. So I would start speaking things and writing things in past tense. And so that's what I would encourage every person that comes into my life, into my space. I always encourage them and literally keep that momentum and just encourage yourself. And things are starting unfolding. And that's what I'm seeing now. Like things are starting to, really come into place. And I didn't know at this time I would connect with someone that could help me with the funding piece. I never knew that I would have a place, a space, I should say, where I can launch from, a launching pad. I didn't know it in the 3D in our natural world, but I knew in the realm of the spirit, because I kept speaking it. I was speaking as if it already happened. And now it's starting to happen. So that would be my encouragement. Think it, just meditate on it. See, like literally see it with your vision on the inside, with your faith muscle, and just speak it. We have what we say. That is my motto. We have what we say, and see it. You know. So your imagination is the greatest nation. So yeah, that's my word of encouragement for those that are seeking to launch into business.
Love it. Love it. Okay. And then Sarah, what would you say to these ladies that may be thinking about doing something on the side, not sure if they can, not sure if they should?
Speaking and encouraging along with what Makeena had said, I also say pray about it. Because that will be your answer as to whether you should or should not. Because there are a lot of things that I thought I was going to want to do, and no, they did not work out, and I'm not doing that right now. However, when she hit on write the vision, make it plain, I wrote down entrepreneurship. I didn't write what kind of what, nothing. All I was thinking about was my travel. My travel business did explode, it did, but also this other business I didn't even know what was coming up to exploded. So that would be my definite to say that. Also, when you're trying to do what you might call a quote side hustle, I caution you, really caution you, if it's not a passion, it's not a side hustle. Because you can see people, for example, I think Yolanda says she's doing investment. If that's not your passion, don't do it because you see Yolanda doing it and she making some money at it. That might not be for you. It's just like if you want to be a dancer and you can't even bebop, like, no, don't do that. You have to remember everything is not for everybody. And for what is for you is for you. All you got to have is the faith of the mustard seed. Or God, you make one step, God would make two. However, he gives everybody their own gift. And what you see somebody else doing may not be the gift for you. So you pray on what you want to do. You grab what is your passion. For me, cooking is my passion. I can go in there, all my jams I have right now, I have no recipe for them. They're here. I'll pray. Somebody will say, hey, Sarah, can you, what was something? They asked me to create an orange marmalade. I'm from Georgia. I ain't never heard of that mess before, but I said, okay, I'll do it for you. I went, I prayed. I was like, God, you know nothing about orange marmalade. He gave me this recipe. I got up the next morning. My orange marmalade is one of the top sellers that I have, to which people say they haven't had any like that. It's the most requested. They don't even like what's in the store because they like the way I do it now. So that's why I say you pray on it. You take what is your passion, not somebody else's passion, and you make it yours. That's my biggest advice.
That is good. That is good. Oh my goodness. I want samples. I want perfume samples and I want marmalade samples. All right. So, okay, before we close, I'll give a few tips too, since I've been doing my businesses for a while. And the first thing that I would say is start small. I know I've had some people to get a great idea and I say, oh, I want to do this. Oh my goodness, I'm going to quit my job. No, don't quit your job. Don't, keep your day job and start small. Do it on the side a little bit, as you have time. Usually when people have a full-time job, they can only do their side business on the weekends. And yes, take your weekends and start working the job or working the side business. Educate yourself in that field. whether that means watching seminars. I don't think you really need to get certifications as much, even though I did. When I wanted to be a dating coach, once I was already a matchmaker, and once I found out about coaching, I ended up getting 3 different life coaching certifications, including one that was specific to relationship coaching for singles. And really, you don't need all those certifications, depending upon what you're going to do. But educate yourself. You do need to do that, whether it's reading books on that topic or watching YouTube videos on that. Research your competition, depending upon what kind of business it is. You might have conferences that you can attend, that kind of thing. You want to start getting education under your belt in that area, whatever it is. And then if it's something that you haven't done before, test it out with your friends. You can make them your clients or your testers and see what their feedback is. The only problem with that is sometimes friends don't want to hurt your feelings. But get some people, maybe not your best friends, but get some people that and test whatever that thing is out on them first before you decide if this is the thing you think you want to do as a side hustle. All right. Thank you, ladies, for sharing your side hustles and your knowledge and advice about this. Before we close out and before I do the announcements, are there any questions or comments from those of you watching?
I have a question.
Sure.
As Kiki knows, I spoke to you on Monday. I resigned from my position in a healthcare organization in December. I took on a different position just because I think Yolanda was saying I had no joy with what I was doing after over 20 years. And it was preventing me from just being passionate about life. And I knew I wanted to do something else. I now find myself a little older, empty nester, and I know that I want to help others, but I don't know in what sector. How can I figure out what type of side hustle, quote unquote, would be best for me? Like, is there a website or is there something, because there's different areas, but instead of trial and error, obviously, and there will be trial and error, is there something that can help, that will list things that I may be interested in, where I can say, I'm passionate about this, like Sarah was saying, be passionate about this or be passionate about that. But is there something that can give me some ideas as to, well, this falls within that scope of what you're interested in, if that makes sense?
Anybody have any ideas?
That's hard because I have not heard of one. I took what I like to do and used that. So I didn't use like any type of site or anything. I think it's something that you have to find within.
Okay.
And, because there is something that you can do that you like to do, whether it's cooking, beading, like, for example, I started doing jewelry. I thought I was the best jewelry maker in the world. You see, I'm not making jewelry, don't you? Okay? I mean, I make it for myself. If I have an outfit that I want something different to wear, I'll make it for myself. My mom will say, hey, Sarah, make this for whatever. But that's not I quickly learned that's not a gift, especially before you sink a lot of money in it, it's not your gift. So take something that there is something you have a passion for. It is something, and you know what it is. We can't tell you. You know what it is.
Okay.
Hi, is it Will Marie?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, hi. I do have a little experience in that area only because of the previous job. They do have links and websites that will help you at least kind of navigate. They will ask you questions And based on how you answer those questions, they will be able to tap into your areas of passions and things that you are inclined to connect with, or that connects with you. So I'll reach back and look at some of, see if I can pull some links and send it to Keisha.
Okay.
And that way she can get it to you.
Thank
But
you.
there are some, I mean, just to at least help kind of like pull you, you know, into the direction that maybe something that's kind of connected to you. And
Okay.
then, like, I don't know if when you were doing the in the medical field, sometimes, you know, you think about what would I do? What would you do if you didn't get like one dime, didn't get paid for it? What are some things that you genuinely love to do, like in like your spare time?
I
And
actually wanted to start a support group, to be truthful. I wanted to start a support group.
Mhm.
And it was a personal reason why, and it was for grandparents such as myself. I almost lost my granddaughter, and there's support groups for well, my granddaughter was a victim of baby shaken syndrome, and we almost lost her. And it was the longest 3 months of my life. If I would have lost my granddaughter, I would have lost my daughter in the interim. This happened 2 years ago, this past August. And, you know, she is facing, you know, some challenges ahead. And it's clinically, she's textbook, you know, and I found that there was no support for grandparents. And even for my daughter, there wasn't as much support. And you would think that there would be. Online, I did find some sites for grandparents, which I joined, where I vented and I saw, you know, and I read comments and whatnot. But that's something I'm passionate about. I want to start a support group. So I know that that's something that I really want to do. I just don't know how to go about in doing so. I know that something that I also want to do is when my granddaughter left the one hospital to go to another hospital for brain trauma, where she started her rehab, I actually had a custom made a little outfit that said, I graduated from PICU. So I have someone that will donate those outfits with the little booties and whatnot. I had a big bow made, and you know, she was leaving that hospital in style in the ambulance to go to the other hospital. So I want to be able to do something like that and eventually make it grow. So that's something I'm really passionate about. I just don't know how to start it. But
Wow.
That actually could
Yeah.
end up being a business, that making an outfit for a
Yeah,
child
there-
that has come
yeah.
through a medical issue. I could see that actually taking off.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't see
wow.
that anywhere. I have
Yeah.
not seen that. So yeah, I think it's in you. Like our sister, I forgot the other sister, Sarah was saying, like it's in you.
yeah.
So yeah, so I will definitely send those links to you. But it sounds like you definitely have a 501c3 business when it comes to the support group. I have someone that I was just speaking to today, and exhorting them and launching out into that, because that's their heart. It's where their passion is, to help.
And
support. So, yeah.
that's what I know that's one of my passions, and I speak about it often. I get a little emotional about it.
Mhm.
And that I know that should I start that, every other side hustle, as you know, quote unquote, won't be relevant, because that would be my main focus. That would be my main
So
focus.
that's
because-
how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know then. So you, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And if
But-
she does, if she
Oh, go
do like a nonprofit organization, she'd be also be having investors going in and you know, donating money to her organization. So then she don't really have to come out of her pocket when she actually is doing those different adventures for those kids or those babies, stuff like that. Yeah.
And because over the years I've already have formed relationships, and I have networks of radiologists, neuroradiologists. I have the in where I can speak to physicians and possibly be able to go into the hospital and speak to someone in PICU and the nurses or the neurologist, or, you know, but it's just a matter of starting it. I don't know how to start it properly. That's my issue. Yeah.
Well, sounds like you have an idea.
Yeah.
And now you just need the logistics of getting it off the ground. So you don't need the tests. I do know that there are tests that you can take that will tell you, oh, you will be good in this field or you will be good in that field. And even my church has SHAPE, SHAPE, which are a set of questions. And then that helps you determine, based on your answers, it will tell you what type of gift you have, administration or exhorter, so there's all kinds of tests out there that can help you determine things. But as you just said, you know what your passion is because it's there in your heart and it makes you emotional when you think about it. And it's something that you feel like it needs to be addressed, but nobody's addressing it. So that is your thing. That's the thing that you're supposed to do. And then the logistic part, how to get into that, we can help you with that. Other business owners and nonprofit owners. And yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Okay, we are out of time. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming and sharing your wisdom. Before we close, I do want to let the ladies that are watching know what we have coming up as far as Friendship Mixer events, and then we'll close out. So this is our private platform. This was tonight, Living Your Best Life. Actually, Joy, some of these people, I'll have to send them the recording. We work out together Monday through Thursday at noon. It's only for 30 minutes just to get your body moving. So tomorrow at noon, it'll be Team Body Project. We actually have, Shanta is going to see Priscilla Shire in Baltimore on Saturday. So she put that there. I posted the Elements of a Will webinar, which is also on Saturday. That's free, open to the public. And when you're on our private platform, when you're a member, you just click on each event in order to get into the Zoom for it. And then a couple of ladies are going to a rodeo this weekend in the DC area. It looks like our Atlanta chapter is going to be doing a pottery event this weekend too. So that's just a few things that we have coming up for Friendship Mixers. Again, if you want to become a member, you go to our website at friendshipmixers.com, click on the join button, and then you'll be with us for a whole year where you have to renew. And it's a very low cost. All right. Thank you again, ladies. We'll be back in the future with more for entrepreneurs, business owners, and even coaches if you're into life coaching or health coaching or dating coaching like myself. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your evening and see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.